The Make-A-Wish Foundation is truly one of a kind. The ability to give back to kids who have endured the worst pain is a special gift. The Make-A-Wish Foundation was created to show kids that are dealing with critical illnesses the happy side of life outside of the hospital. Since the beginning, when the Make-A-Wish Foundation was created in 1980, thousands of kids have been able to have their wishes granted by this foundation through various funding sources such as you, me, companies that are large enough to give large sums of money to the Make-A-Wish, and just every donation that they get is what goes towards making these wishes come true. You see that all these experiences happen, and that's because of people like you and me that contribute. That when you go somewhere and they say, oh, well, would you like to donate $1 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation? You know, that dollar really makes a huge gain in making those wishes come true. There's millions of families in the world that they just go about their normal day. No traumatic experiences from cancer or critical illnesses, and none of that goes on. But there are thousands of families that go through this every day for 365 days a year. Their child is in a hospital fighting to survive. Me personally, I have dealt with that as my sister has gone through cancer. She survived. She's doing well now, but my family personally knows what it's like to endure that pain and the suffering of seeing my sister, you know, fight through those surgeries, the chemotherapies, and being a Wish kid herself, we were able to experience the Make-A-Wish Foundation and what they were able to give my family and give back. When we went to Disney World was really it was a heartfelt experience. So being able to talk about this and tell others what it's really like is it's a heartfelt thing. So I see the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's a really impactful thing. So when I look into the research of it, I see that the Make-A-Wish Foundation has created more than 520,000 wishes. So that means over 520,000 kids have had cancer and have had to go through the pain, and the money that the volunteers, such as you and me, give back to this community is it's tremendous. You see that the first wish was granted in 1980, and it really started with Chris's wish. Christopher Gracious, his dream was to become a police officer. With the help of his community in Phoenix, he was able to become a police officer for a day. Now, Chris did die of leukemia, and that is really what kicked off the start of Make-A-Wish, was his family saw that he was able to do something that he wanted to do for one day. And unfortunately, Chris is no longer here, but his impact of being able to do what he wanted to do created the light to show that we could create an organization for other people to have their wish granted. So, as I said, you know, my family was fortunate enough to go to Disney World. Other people meet their idols, such as, you know, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, or Olivia Rodrigo. Being a profession, such as Chris was a police officer for a day. You could be a firefighter. There's so many stories out there of so many different opportunities that are given out through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You see the Make-A-Wish Foundation in various places. You know, Subaru, the car company, is a big donator to Make-A-Wish because they see the impact that they make in what is unimaginable to some people, to be able to go to those places like Disney World and experience everything that they could ever want there in their life, all because of what someone had to suffer and endure because of that. So you see what they do every day. They give back constantly. I mean, their job is to give back. And throughout all the volunteers and through all the countries, they are in 5 continents and nearly 50 countries doing this work. So it's not just a United States thing. 32,000 volunteers giving back to show that, you know, there's more to life than just sitting in a hospital room, going through surgeries and treatments all day, every day, just fighting for your will to survive. You know, I see this, and it's in just last week, 302 wishes were granted due to donations around the country. So when I say that $1 impacts, you know, there's 7 billion people in the world. If everybody were to donate $1, that's $7 billion to go towards wishes. Now, obviously, I know that's not a thing that's most likely going to happen, but if it were, I mean, it just shows that that $1 really counts. So being able to fight and show what the Make-A-Wish Foundation is really about is just truly impactful. Like I said, it's a little more heartfelt for me because my family has endured that, but just seeing the children and infants being diagnosed with cancer and there's nothing that they can do about it is really, it sucks. So being able to see them fight, it's tough to watch, but once they make it through, it's really just a good feeling and a happy thing that you can go on in life about seeing that, you know, they made it, and those that were unfortunate enough to suffer defeat to those illnesses, you know, the Make-A-Wish Foundation is very impactful, and you know, they see kids that, you know, unfortunately do not have the time to go on a wish trip once they recover because they know that the time's ticking and someday it may not happen. They do their best to bring the wish to them. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation has created several opportunities. The donators donate thousands of dollars to make sure wishes come true, and it's just been a truly impactful organization that is going to continue to grow and continue to give more wishes.